What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? Guys, it's getting interesting in this market. This is a gigantic week, not for cryptocurrency necessarily, but for all markets right now, because there's a lot of different pieces that will coalesce into what could be the start of a rally. Now, one of the reasons for that is the United States has been putting tariffs out. They've been doing the Oprah Winfrey, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, everybody gets a tariff. And they've been doing that for a little while. It's a little bit strange, I know. However, it is designed for a purpose, and hopefully if we fulfill that purpose, then we can move forward with rebuilding the American economy, which, in fairness, has dwindled, and we've had some issues and concerns with it. Now, Donald Trump doing what he can to try to fix things or things that are broken in his estimation. Is he getting it right 100%? That's going to be for history to decide. However, what he has done successfully is stopped and stalled and prevented a bull run, which we should already have had by now. So, how do we fix that becomes the question. That's the only one that really matters to all of us, right? Well, the answer to that, I think, is we're coming to a head right now, and this week is going to be very telling. Let me explain why. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Okay, primarily, consider this. On Tuesday, we get ISM manufacturing data. We get the JOLTS, which is job opening. Then you've got President Trump's Liberation Day on Wednesday. That is the day when all of the tariffs go into effect. Then you have the ADP non-farm employment data on Thursday. Then you have the March jobs report. And then you have Chairman Powell, who's going to speak on Friday. This is a massive week for all markets. If any of this starts to come back and show that the United States has flipped a page here and that we're moving on to a new paradigm, these markets will start to move. Now, here's the problem with that. If the numbers are coming in and they're not good, and it doesn't motivate the Fed to start talking about quantitative easing, and what that means is quantitative tightening, which is what we've done for the last couple of years, is we're trying to stop the money flow. Remember, in 2020, 2021, the United States printed a lot of money to give to the American people because of COVID. And that, of course, led to inflation, because if the American people have money, what's left for the billionaires? How are they going to eat? So what they immediately did is they raised the price of everything because they got to get their money. They can't have the American people be wealthy. Are you kidding me? The poors with money is basically what look, I'm summarizing it in a nutshell, but that's exactly what the indication here is the U.S. government gave out money, the manufacturing, the businesses in the United States felt that, no, baby, and they started raising their prices because they wanted to get all that money back for themselves. Look, if you're a millionaire, they're going to be a trillionaire. That's basically what it comes down to, right? So, clawing that back for the last couple of years, we've reduced a little bit of the money supply. Not a lot, but a little bit of the money supply. And now we're going to have what's called easing. Now, we're not going to turn the money printer back on. I think we've moved beyond that. But what we will start to do is start to take some of the money that the U.S. has and start to put it back into the markets. That quantitative easing will, of course, add global liquidity back into the market. So that would mean that there's more money coming around for people to cash out on everything that they do. That will couple with bond yields going down in price, which has been a problem. And then once all those things start to happen, then boom, the markets will start to send. All we've done, by the way, is Donald Trump has not screwed the bull run. He's just delayed the bull run. Now, you were betting on it happening by this point. You're going to say that it's screwed anyway, but it is not. It's just been delayed. Remember, part of the Donald Trump legacy, and this is very important, part of the Donald Trump legacy is one of profitability and money. And if Donald Trump is a failure, then that destroys a legacy that he's working very, very hard to build. Okay, so even though we may not be having a 4-year cycle specifically yet, I think that it's coming. And don't forget, when we look at the chart, it's going to be money flow. There's a lot of money flowing into these markets right now. It just hasn't hit crypto yet. So back to it. This will end up being a gigantic week for all of them. Now, along with gigantic weeks, guess what? The biggest burn day for Trobits just happened on the final day. And look at the last couple of days, 167, 166, 168. Those are the biggest numbers that we've had so far. Interest is only going up. Now, what is it about Trobits? Trobits every day burns Luna Classic, burns SHIB every day, just to give you guys some perspective on it. And not only that, but if you want news to find out what is going on in the cryptocurrency world and you don't want to listen to me because I don't make any sense or something like that, I don't know why you would say that, but you might. And this is the place that you would go in order to get that information. This is where you would come. And every day when you come to this website, trobits.com, link in the description below. And by the way, no sign up. You don't have to do anything. The ad revenue right here pays for the burns every single day. And yesterday burned the biggest supply that it's burned so far. So thank you, and shout out to everybody for making that happen. Please continue to make that happen. Go check this site out every single day. Now, in bigger news, I think Leonardo has come up with the USTC update for March 30th. So I'm gonna breeze through this to give it to you as quickly as possible, okay? Since publication, the white paper resonated widely, attracting over 100,000 people. Initially, implementation depended on L1 coding and funding, and we sought collaboration from L1 development teams. Although theoretical pathways existed to build entirely at an L2 level, actual execution remained uncertain. This changed with the successful launch of Clay. Clay demonstrated that the cross-chain liquidity and bridging capabilities needed to implement the collateral market maker were possible. Clay turning theory into tangible innovation means Ceramic can implement his white paper without needing L1 support or funding. This is precisely what we have been doing, working. We hope you're having a great weekend. For those who are celebrating, happy Mother's Day. And once again, thank you to the incredible Lunc community, your unwavering support. Now, look, what are we talking about here? Well, there was an idea to revitalize USTC. The theoretical framework was 80% developed. Ceramic and I then reached out, engaging with the Lunc ecosystem. And in November, we proudly released the theory white paper. Now, here's the thing. Nothing ever happened because your gatekeeper. Look, if this were something that people wanted to do, it would be done already. But for some reason, your validators have gate kept to prevent this thing from popping. That really is it. Now, there could be some concerns that it would be too central. There could be some concerns that it won't work. And by the way, the people who are telling you that it won't work, what they're doing isn't working either. So let me just clarify that if we have a functioning blockchain that's using, and it doesn't require any programming to fundamentally change the blockchain, which in this instance, it does not, you're simply building on it, then what are we doing, right? So ask yourself that every time you see some voting coming up from your validators, and when you question how they vote, if they don't vote the way that you want, go change who you're validating with. It is very, very simple. And even though you can still use Station, I believe, so that's the easiest place, I think, to just go to Station, see who you're validating with, and just change it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just that easy. So I would do that if that is the case. Again, there are certain people out here who are bad for this space, no matter what. And again, if you are wondering who that is, consider of the 200 cryptos right now ranked in the top 200, only one does not have a website, and that is Luna Classic. That's the only one. And these people, they've gate kept for you, and they've prevented your progress, all of this, and they don't care. They do like building, and I don't mean to say that they're not going to build something fantastic as an ecosystem. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that as of this point, we know, or you guys know, that burns matter, and that's the most important part to attract new people in, is to get them, give them an opportunity. And here's the thing. What you would have some of these people telling you, and this is, they're using with their brains. This is what they came up with their thinks. Okay, they decided, hey, we're not trading enough on this chain in order to repeg anything, because what's the purpose of repegging if nobody's trading on the blockchain? To give people a reason to trade on the blockchain, dummy. I mean, are we not seeing this? Are we not paying attention? Are we like asleep at most of these wheels? It comes down to this. It's very fundamental, very, very simple, okay? If you build it, they will come. I think that came from a stupid movie, but it's a very prescient sort of statement. If you build it, they will come. If you build something, you give people reason to be there, they will show up. That sounds pretty fundamental And only a moron wouldn't recognize that. Okay? So it doesn't matter whether people are trading on the chain or they are not. Here's what's going to happen. If you repeg Luna Classic and USTC and you create a protocol in which after the transaction, which also exists now, after the transaction, a small percentage is used to purchase from USTC sales, purchase Luna Classic, and then that purchase, that small purchase, is burned at the end. And then when you buy Luna Classic on chain and you sell it, then what you sell on Luna Classic, a small portion of that goes to buy USTC, and then that USTC is burned. If you just do that, that's it. If that's all you do right there, then you have created a mechanism by which you can fundamentally reduce the supply even greater than what you can do right now. And if you continue to whitelist Binance, guess what? It doesn't matter, because Binance will continue doing whatever Binance does. Underperform, I guess, at this point. But what will also happen is they're going to be whitelisted. They don't give a shit. Doesn't matter to them. So they're going to be whitelisted. They're not going to burn anything. Everything else will start burning through that protocol for anybody who's trading. Now, if it's not a huge amount, it might not be, but it could be. And guess what? If you build it, they will come. So if the volume then doubles, if the volume then triples, if the volume then quadruples, the validators are making more revenue for validating. I mean, it's fundamental. If you stop progress, you are stopping progress. And if anybody of your if any validators over here are not working towards doing that right now, are they even keeping their eye on the prize? Ask yourself that. And if they are not, fundamentally, go look at how they're voting. Validate with people who care about what you care about. The end. It's very, very simple. And look, I'm not telling you what to think. If you don't think burning is the answer, cool. I should point out that Luna Classic burns a pretty good amount over periods of time. They burn more than SHIB, and we have like 1/10 of the supply of SHIB, and we're burning as much. So I'm not saying that we're doing a bad job. I am saying SHIB is doing a horrible job, and that Trobits themselves probably burning more than almost any other protocol on SHIB. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. Now, their focus, by the way, is not that. Their focus is something different. So just take that for what you will. I think that all of this right here is going to have a dramatic sort of also mixed bag today as far as flow. Nothing new on Commonwealth other than repeg, give it to Binance, blah, blah, blah. As far as meme coins go, value down about $100 today. That's a pretty big dump that we've had. And when you go around, you really kind of see it's mostly tied into Luna Classic. Like that seems to be where the biggest difficulty is. Food lost about $9 in value, and Hera lost about $30 in value. Garuda X lost about $20 over the last couple of days. You can see when you move out here on the dailies, you can see just kind of draining a little bit in the market from some highs that we've had up over here for the last little while. Just really kind of getting weighed on by circumstance. So, but you should get yourself a bag of each and every one of these because it won't last forever. Once Garuda X, once Juris Protocol, once these lenders and these mechanisms get into the works, if you will, I think they're going to go on some crazy runs. Look, I could see Garuda X going 100x to about 50 cents. Do you know what I'm saying? You look at it from a market cap perspective right here. It's 240,000 market cap, $224 million market cap for Garuda X would be 100x from here, and would put it to about 50. So I really think that's a pretty simple sort of thing. It does take a lot of movement from Luna Classic. Luna Classic is going to have to get started. It's going to have to attract people. But when you start to go through this and you start to fundamentally look at some of these and where they can move, then you start to get an idea of how vast this could be. Again, Juris Protocol, if this is the lender, it's got to be worth 100 million, right? Well, that's about 50x from where it is right now. So could that end up being a big time move? I mean, all of these are, I think it's important, by the way, I think it's important for everybody to recognize that there is a great opportunity here for this ecosystem. It will pick up. The reason it hasn't picked up right now is fundamentally we haven't had the bull run. So, but that bull run, it's very, very close. Okay. All right, so for governance proposals, we had 4 up, which was the that was the message pull to pay for the work that I think it was Strathcole did. 12166 that passed. Then we had the remove stablecoin from from CoinMarketCap that also passed. Signal proposal for USTC system implementation was rejected, and then the upgrade to 3.4.3 is pending right now. But I mean, as you can see right here, it really looks like it's just going. The quorum right now is 40%, pass threshold 50%, veto threshold 33.4%, and it looks like everything. So I don't see any reason to think right now that this is not going to pass. It seems to be that they really don't have anybody really being difficult about it. I mean, you come down the list here, and it's really just a volume and a sea of yes. So I think that one's going to pass. Now let's look at the chart. You guys, I told you over here, we've been talking about this for days, and I do think that, you know, we break out to the top of this range. However, the Trump organization, the Trump administration, call it what you will, have made it incredibly difficult. Okay, this has been just a pain right now. The Trump administration has not been good for crypto. They've been good for the framework of crypto, though. We should recognize that. Even though I'm telling you that they've not been good for crypto, that's not entirely true. That's me just kind of telling you that, you know, there's some struggles, there's some problems that we've had in these markets right now. And ultimately, here's what we're looking at. That global liquidity flow right now, if you look at this piece right here, this is, and this is the part that I want to illustrate. Like there's the top over here, you can see it clearly, and you can see the move down here, and you can see that everything just matches up. And I hate to beat a dead horse here, but I mean, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there. Now what we're in right now is that death throw. We're in that final little death throw right there. That dip that we see right there, I think at the end, probably just happened, and now we've got a reversal coming in. I think this is the week that it comes in, and then boom, we start to get that big move, right? And going back to it, it's this global liquidity. We haven't gotten to that global liquidity flow. Now, look, here's the other part to it. Because there's global liquidity like this, because it's flowing, it could take a while to get into the market, okay? I'm not saying that it's just easily going to happen, all right? There are moments here when you can look at this chart, even though this chart is very, I mean, like it works perfectly for the most part. You can look at it and you can say, well, you know, where is the, I mean, you kind of look at it from certain perspectives and you wonder, like, does it match up? Like, it doesn't always flow the same way. It depends on the what you're looking at. It doesn't always flow that way. So the question now is, you know, what happens? Well, I do think that means that we are in a big move. So that big move is coming. It's going to be here. This is the week. Remember, you led this off with Tuesday. You get the job openings. Wednesday is Liberation Day, as Trump calls it. That's going to be a problem, by the way. That's not a solution. And then we get to the jobs report. Then we get and then Friday we got Chairman Powell, who's going to be having that speech and stuff like that. So there's plenty to go on this week. And if those things run well, then guess what? Boom, this market starts to soar. That liquidity starts to flow. And why is it not flowing into this market right now? Very simple. People are afraid of risk assets. What is crypto? Crypto is a high risk asset. It's getting less risky, but it's still risky. So that's what's going on. You're seeing the risk assets getting a little more attractive if the rates come down for the bond yields, if the markets are starting to look good, if it looks like we're getting to quantitative easing. That's what we're looking at. Quantitative easing changes things fundamentally about this market, and that adds liquidity into the market. So if that happens, then we're ready to soar. Now, as far as the rest of it goes, we're up 38% in volume, but it's not a lot of volume. Also here, we're up 450% in volume for USTC after just a really hard sort of breakdown over the last couple of days. You look at the 7-day number and you're not really impressed by it. But by the way, this is where, you know, I told you guys before, like that's kind of where this is where the big play is, in my opinion. This is where the big play is right here. Again, I would like to see this come down just a little bit more, but again, volume starting to kick up. But people are extracting liquidity from a lot of different markets. They're getting nervous. This is the week where if you pick the right direction, it'd be life-changing. You pick the wrong direction, you get liquid. Now, Team Lunc has something hot cooking up. I don't know what it is yet, but it's Lunc E Community 23. There's some stuff going on over here, and get ready for a nice powerhouse move organized by Fragverdig. And you can see right here, these are the members. This is everybody who's in this chat right now. Something is going on. They're cooking up something. There's a 30-minute commercial here. Mute it because we don't know what that music. Sometimes it feels like we are in disagreement. We all want the same thing, so let's be community. All right, so I don't know if that's going to mean anything. I don't know if that's going to matter, but again, when you look at this, people who are just diametrically opposed to one another. Vegas, Jesus is Lord, Rex YZ. I mean, people that do not ultimately get along with one another are in this group right now. So there's something going on here. So I think that's important to recognize. So that could be a renewal of purpose for Luna Classic. Could be anything, but something is going on. As far as burn tracker goes, 200 million burned over the last 7 days, and you can see just really bad days, just bad days. The market is looking for direction. When you look at coin market cap right now, 67 billion in 24-hour volume. For anybody who's wondering, when I give you a number like that, we are in a bearish trend, a very bearish trend. Now it is the weekend, so bearish trends on the weekend, that's nothing new. That's, we actually did pretty well over this weekend to not dip. But over the 7-day, look at the spot volume here. A week ago, we were looking at 400 billion in volume. We're down below 100 billion just recently. So just some crazy numbers there. And if we can get it to play out, if we can figure this out, then we're going to be fine ultimately. But, we got to get there. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Look, this is a big week, and it could kick off the bull run. It really could. Now, it would be the start of it. It certainly wouldn't be the end of it. It'd be the start of it, and it would happen rapidly. But if this is the case, then we could be looking at something fantastic happening. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm